Beautify July Day 3. Hey everybody, today I'm going to be talking about SPF, something that is talked about all the time in the summer. It is very important to know how to protect yourself and your skin from the damaging rays of the sun, and to know a little bit about SPF, to know what you're looking for when you're perusing the shelves in the store for a sunscreen or something. So I just wanted to share with you the things that I've learned. I have taken a class on this specific topic, so I do feel like I can share some of my knowledge with you and hopefully it will be helpful. And yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So first I want to start off with a little bit of background. I think we need to know a little bit of the ins and outs of the rays of the sun and so forth. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is UV radiation. UV radiation stands for ultraviolet radiation, and it's what we get from the sun. And what some people don't know is that there are three main types of UV radiation that we get from the sun. The first one is UVA, and that one is actually the most damaging to the skin. It is the one that penetrates our Earth's surface the most and gets down to us. It can cause damage to your DNA, it can cause premature aging, it can cause skin cancer. It is the most damaging of the three rays. The next is UVB, and that is the next most potent radiation compared to UVA, and it is most potent between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. So I don't know if many of you have heard, I know my mom used to tell me like that's when the sun is the most powerful, between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. So that's when you really need to think about your SPF and how much time you're spending in the sun. UVB can also cause wrinkling, it can cause collagen damage, it can cause damage to your skin. Not so much as UVA does, but UVB is still damaging. However, there is a good side to UVB, that's where we get our vitamin D synthesis. And vitamin D is a vitamin that we need in our body, and it helps with calcium absorption. So getting vitamin D can help with bone health, although it is in moderation. So going out and getting sunburns all the time is not going to help you with your calcium absorption. UVB can also be damaging because what I've been told is UVB, B equals burn. It is the UV radiation that is what causes the sunburn when you go out into the sun, that causes your skin to get red, that can cause the peeling afterwards. So it's something that you really need to protect yourself against. And the last UV radiation is UVC, and that is the least damaging of the three because it doesn't really reach the Earth's surface. It can't really penetrate the barrier that is around the Earth, but it still can be damaging to our Earth, so it's something that I just wanted to mention. And now a little trivia question for you guys. Next, I want to share with you a cute little phrase that I was taught. It sounds kind of weird, you're going to think I'm a total weirdo for remembering this, but this is something that I think you'll remember because it sounds so strange. Slip, slop, slap, and a wrap. It just sounds funny. I can't help but laugh when I hear it, but it is something that can help you remember what you need to do to protect yourself from the sun. So first is slip, and that stands for slip on a shirt. Obviously your skin is more protected when you have a barrier between your skin and the sun, so putting on any type of clothing is going to be a little bit of a barrier. Keep in mind that tightly woven clothes and darker colors are what's going to protect you most. Granted, in the summer we don't really like to wear super dark clothes or long sleeves, but that is what will protect you the most in terms of wardrobe. Second is slop on sunscreen, and of course sunscreen is our best way to protect ourselves from the sun if we're going to be in it for a long time. I'm not going to go into too many details right now because in a couple minutes I'll go into more details and hopefully explain to you more of SPF and what it entails. Third is slap on a hat. And obviously to protect your face, if you wear a hat with a very wide brim, I think it's a 2 to 3 inch brim that can really protect your face, that's going to be great. Straw hats are good, but they don't block out as much radiation as a tightly woven hat. So if you're into hats and you're into like the floppy hat that's going to protect your face, go for it. It's not only looking stylish, but you are also protecting yourself from the sun. 4 is wrap some sunglasses around your face. This is something that I think is super easy. I feel like people wear sunglasses all the time. It's a fashion statement. For me, it's really hard for me to go out in the sun or to be driving without sunglasses on. So I've always got my sunglasses on. It can protect from cataracts, and I don't know if you guys know what cataracts is. I don't really want to go into too much detail, but it's a very damaging disease of the eye. So anything you can do to protect your beautiful eyes, then please do so. Now onto SPF, the thing that I think most people want to know about. This is a little bit more of a scientific side of it, but I think it would still be interesting to you guys. First of all, SPF stands for Sun Protection Factor, and it is what is labeled on most sunscreen bottles to let you know what protection you're getting from the sun in that specific product. Now, there is a little bit of an equation to this, and I will share it with you guys, and then I'll try to put it out in words so it's a little bit easier to understand. So an SPF, the number that would be on a product that you get, is equal to the amount of time you can be in the sun protected with that SPF divided by how much time it would take you to burn bright red without an SPF in the sun. For example, if it takes you 30 minutes to burn bright red in the sun and you use an SPF of 15, you will be protected with that SPF 15 for 450 minutes or 7 hours in the sun. Now time for another little trivia. As is pretty obvious, an SPF with a higher number is going to give you more protection. However, they're not always proportional. So an SPF of 15 is going to block 93% of the UV radiation. However, an SPF of 30, which is double the SPF, is only going to block 97%. So it's only a 4% increase. It's not like an exponential. So you're not going from like 93% protection to like 180 something, which is not even really possible. So I will put a little chart in here to show you the level of protection per SPF. And one thing to note about SPF, I know on several products there are always different SPF levels. I've seen as low as like SPF 8, there's SPF 15, 30, 45, 50, 70, 100 plus. And in my opinion, and from what I've learned, anything above 30 is kind of just something to grab your attention in the store and make you think, oh my gosh, I'm being protected so much more. As you can see with that chart, even going from an SPF above 30, it's only like a 3% range that you're getting more protection. I think 97% protection is great. Granted, we would want 100% protection, but most of the time in stores, when you see an SPF of like 70 plus or 100 plus, it's going to be more expensive than the 30. And to me, it's just a marketing scheme that products or brands use to get you to try to buy something that's higher priced. You're not getting that much more protection. So in my opinion, I think you're good with an SPF of 30 all over. Another thing to keep in mind with SPF is piling SPF after SPF product on your skin is not going to add together. So for example, if my sunscreen that I use on my face, which is the Neutrogena SPF 30, if I put this on and then I wear a foundation that has an SPF of 15, I'm not getting an SPF of 45. They're each different. Granted, I'm really using this for the sun protection. I'm not using the foundation for sun protection. I think companies or products are having SPF put in them because people sometimes do neglect using a true SPF under their normal makeup. Now onto something even more important is the application of sunscreen. And when I first learned about this, my mind was completely blown because the amount of sunscreen needed to protect your body is insane. You would have to be buying sunscreen like once a week if you were really using it as often. Even if you were going to the beach like 1 or 2 days a week. I think people don't realize how much sunscreen is really needed to get the protection that the SPF states on the packaging. So first of all, you are going to need to apply the sunscreen 15 to 30 minutes before you are out in the sun. That way it gives time for your skin to kind of soak it up and to really form that protective barrier before you go into the sun. Secondly, the amount needed, a normal adult body, can be covered in 1 ounce of sunscreen. Now, if you think about it, I just have mine here to show you. This is Banana Boat Ultra Defense 8 fluid ounce bottle, so 8 ounces. An adult body can be covered in 1 ounce, but if you think about it, so they break it up in teaspoons, and a teaspoon is 5 milliliters. This is getting really scientific, I'm sorry. So you're supposed to do a half a teaspoon to your face and neck, half a teaspoon to each shoulder and arm, half a teaspoon to the front of your torso, half a teaspoon to the back of your torso, and 1 full teaspoon on each leg. However, the catch here is reapplication needs to be done every 2 hours about. So say you're going to be in the sun for 4 hours and you have to use 1 ounce every 2 hours, you're going to end up using 2 ounces, which is a quarter of this bottle. So if you go out in the sun, let's say if you go to the beach for 4 hours 2 times a week, you're going to have to buy a new one of these every 2 weeks. So that's something to think about, is how much sunscreen you're really using when you put it on your body, and if you really are getting the protection that you need with the SPF that's in one of these things. And just as a demonstration, because some people, for me, it was like hard to visualize. So I actually went home and did this myself when I was taking this class. Here is a spoon, and this is about a teaspoon. And I'm just going to show you. I'm probably going to waste this, but I'll put this on anyway, so it's not a big deal. I will just show you how much sunscreen is in 1 teaspoon. Okay, so this is how much it is. That's quite a bit, actually. If you can see in my hand, that would be, you'd have to make probably 2/4 worth of a size of big blobs in the palm of your hand. And that would be just for 1 leg. Or you could use all of this for both of your arms. But that's a lot of sunscreen. I don't think people realize how much sunscreen you really need to use to protect yourself. Overall, I hope this helped you guys out in learning a little bit more about SPF, or understanding what it really takes to protect your skin from the sun. Ultimately, what you're doing is protecting your skin from skin cancer. So it's something that you can do now as a preventative measure. I really believe in preventative things more as to reactive practices in medicine. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave them below. So I just hope you guys are enjoying your holiday, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.